Welcome everyone to another episode of Nectar Notes. I'm so happy that you're here because this one is going to be a very special one, and I was so looking forward to it. I have a really special guest here, my very first guest. It's Caroline, one of my closest friends, and she is such an inspiration for me. She is really like she's living her dream life. She's following her dreams and still like showing people that it's possible, that you can have it all, that you can be successful inside out. You can do that while following your heart's desires. Yeah, just go for it. And so I really want to dive into with her, into like her work, what she's doing, what she went through to this point, and what really happened to being able to have a life like this. So yeah, let's dive in and welcome Caroline to the podcast.
Thank you so much, my love. I'm so excited and I feel so honored to be on your podcast and being your first guest. Really an honor and it's so special. And thank you so much for that and for the opportunity for having me here.
Yes, thank you. I'm excited to maybe just start and maybe you want to introduce yourself a little bit to the audience. Who are you and what are you doing?
Of course. So, hi everyone. My name is Carolyn. I'm having my company's name is Elizar, and I'm helping women to expand beyond limits. And I helped in order by doing that, so is to increase their capacity. Strengths are from the inside out, bringing them really to their feminine intelligence and their feminine wisdom that we all carry within us. And because like big dreams, big goals, they want like the bigger career, the bigger, like the higher position. Maybe they want to create their own business and not only their business, but really creating an empire, really making an impact that matters for them and really change something in the world. I'm helping them to reach all these amazing goals that I have, but without sacrificing themselves and without losing themselves all the way up. This happens often, right, in our environment and our society, that it's said, okay, you can chase the success or you can have the success. Yeah, then you have to hustle, and then it's like you just focus on the goal and you forget everything around you. And I'm showing you that there's a different way, that you can have it all and still be fulfilled and still be excited and still are excited about your life and still have like the private life, like still connecting with yourself, the hobbies, spending time with your family, your friends or kids, and that everything has its place. And actually, and I show you that when you even have that all, it accelerates actually your success because it will not exhaust you. It actually fuels you and gives you energy. And it's way easier for you all the success in life that you want.
That's so beautiful, and I really love that. And I think really rare, and also like how you do it, really a different approach to this work because I see it nowadays so much. We are most of the time, there are maybe like the business people who say like hustle, do more, you need to put in the work. And then there is the other side who says, yeah, you have to be more feminine and yeah, lead from your feminine. And everything has I think everyone has his truth, but we need to be more in the middle. I think we need to integrate both because the balance is always the key, right? So, um, we will go into this topic later, but for now, I just also want to dive a little bit into your personal experience, personal life, because I think that is what brought you here, right? So always like the hardships we endured is what brought us closer to our going a few years back. So you had the successful career, you were traveling all over the world. On the outside, you had it all, right? So you had the money, the success, and yeah, people were looking up at you and you had the career. You achieved everything you desired so much and worked hard for. But I think at some point you realized that something wasn't quite right anymore. Um, so what did your old definition of success actually cost you, looking back now?
Yeah, that's a very good question. So I always like to describe it like my past self was like I will be the rich aunt because it didn't fit in my universe, in my perspective that if I want to have a career, have a family, and that there's actually space for kids. So that's why for me, and also my environment and the environment that I worked in. So I worked like the past 10 years in IT consultancy. And for the people who know how consultancy works, it's really like up or out. I have experienced it also with my colleagues that when they decided to start a family, right? Or when they wanted to focus more on the kids and they stopped working within the consultancy and went to another job.
You have to choose. You
Right,
have
you
to.
either had to choose. There was no possibility can coexist. But funny enough, like a few years later, and also nowadays, so a few years later, I was successful in consultancy and had a daughter. We started a family. So I proved already within my career that it can be different. And I was still working also in consultancy because I didn't because for me it was the reality was and my truth was both can coexist, and this is something that I'm inviting my reality. And actually, you know, um I follow my career. I was there for my family. And third thing is actually also that I started my own business even in parallel. Where I initially thought, where I had like nights where my only job, where I had just one position costing me, where I didn't have any hobbies and everything was like just on work focused. I think 2 or 3 years later, I had still the career, I had a family, and I started building my own business because I increased my capacity, you know? And
You were actually, so you were actually stepping into an identity that you created for yourself, and you just like said, I choose to believe this reality that this is possible. And then you went for it, right?
yeah, definitely. Like, how like the law of attraction and everything works. What do you believe? What do you want to believe? And where do you see proof? Or where are you seeking for proof? If you want to get the proof, family and career will not working, then you will find proof for it and you will tell yourself it's not working. Like I have to do the work, I have to work at least 80 hours a week in order to get to success, and there's no space for having or starting a family. But if you decide, as that I did, that no, in my reality, uh there is the reality that I can have it all, right? And I started for looking for proof. Yeah. And that's how it then came. That I really saw, okay, it's possible. And if it's for others possible, it's also possible for me.
What was it like leave the security of your successful career and then go all in your own business before you even like knew whether it would work or not? So I think you decided first because there was just uncertainty. So what made you, what were like the steps or your mindset, or what did you do before? Maybe there is someone listening out there and thinking, yes, I also have a big dream. I want to create my own business. This is not where I see myself. I'm now successful from the outside, but how can I change that?
Mm-hmm.
How can I not lose myself in it still and not just go on the opposite and then, yeah, that it's really sustainable and yeah, that it's possible.
Yeah, I love that question because also there is like no right and wrong. And while building my business and also supporting my clients, I there are always different possibilities. And the most important thing, okay, what is like the correct direction for you? So for me, it was that um, I had this feeling, this nudge that I want to create an impact. It's a funny story. Like the first company I started for, working in a consultancy, their slogan, make an impact that matters. So I was really connected to that. And I always wanted to do that. You know, that was always my vision, help others. And I did it in IT and helped optimizing their processes. But then at one point in time, I felt, okay, I want to create like more impact on the human itself. You know, it's nice IT systems and helping them in their daily business, but I want something more sustainable and that really helps people itself, like from the inside out. So I started building my business when my daughter was 10 months old. I continued with my career after like the baby break that I had. So I was actually just coming back in December at my work, and I actually started then in January building my business. I had like a first coaching how to build an online business. For me, the direction I wanted first to get the experience, get the first clients in, look like get some proof in on the ideas that I had. If it works out, the offers that I'm creating, the coaching, what's it called? My coaching framework, you know, does it really help people? You know, so I'm really getting hands-on experience. And also the beautiful thing is I could apply it directly at work, you know, with my project and my teams, you know, where the people even they didn't know. But I could apply the things, you know, and see, okay, does it really has an impact and how does it change them? So I built my business next to it. When I had like a very solid foundation, now it's time when I felt confident to quit my job. I quit my job, but it was also so hard. I mean, I love what I did, and I was working 10 years in this um, in the IT consultancy, as it was yesterday when I really was sitting in front of my of my boss and had to tell him that I want to quit. So hard for me. Like in my thought, easy to quit, but speaking it out loud was a way higher challenge. Because it was completely new, right? I didn't knew like what is coming. You still had this, of course, you still have like some insecurities and whatsoever. Is this the right decision or not? Um, but I mean, I had the foundation and everything, so I knew it will work, right? But still, of course, there were some fears and thoughts to that. But nevertheless, um, so that's like my kind of way how I approached it, right? But I have, of course, also clients that also wanted to start their own business. They For them it's also like ones of them they also build it next to, right? I'm also helping them to increase their capacity so that they can hold it all and they can create it all. I also had like a client who wanted to start her own business next to it, but while we're like working together, needed it anymore because she found back the joy and the ease and the excitement within her career that she already had. And
That's
now
really
she was even, yeah, and now she was even aiming like for the next position, like a department head. And I mean, and I've experienced online business, so I went already in different coaches, like coaching. And I've experienced also people just, you know, went all in and just quit their job and went then full on all in on creating their own business. There's no right or wrong. I think the most important part of everything, and this is also what I'm doing in my work, is that you find the way is most aligned with.
yeah. So I want to go a little bit into that. At the moment, especially in the social media space, I hear a lot of coaches or people say you need to go immediately all in. Otherwise, you're not fully committed and you are always keeping, how do I say, secure. So you are always like into, if it's not working, then I have still my job. And they say that this is the thing that is holding you back from really being more successful and breaking the ceiling of being able to just have your own business and be financially free with that. So there are a lot of people you need to go fully all in. So I would really like your opinion because then there is also another people like, but for the nervous system, that is not the best because when you are going all in, leaving your financial security behind, we are still living in the 3D. So we need to pay our bills if we don't have this stability and the security, then our nervous system is going all over the place and is always in survival mode. So, what is your opinion on that or approach? What would you recommend?
Yeah, as said before, the most important thing is what aligns with yourself. You know, out there are so many advices and they are beautiful, right? For the one it's like a perfect fit, and then for the other one it's a perfect fit. But having like, and that's why it's so important to be really connected to yourself and not just depending on others, because when you're connected to yourself, a lot of people can come in with their opinions and advices. But if you feel like a little nudge where you feel like in your body, oh no, that's a no or that's a yes, that are the answers that you need to listen to, right? And so my advice is always just listen to your gut feeling, to your intuition, and really thinking of, okay, it might be true, right? I mean, I understand that. It's funny. So I was working 50%, right? And then afterwards I was taking care of my daughter in the afternoon. I also in the beginning, I told myself I need more time to build my business. Because
Still
I don't
remember
have,
that.
yeah, right? I cannot scale, or I cannot have like more clients or whatsoever. I need more time. So I had like a little kind of struggle with time. Um but then what happened also when I quit my job, and suddenly I had like the or so then I suddenly had like 50% of the week time for my business, you know, I had the feeling I didn't have time.
So true. I think there is also like, again, you need to find the balance, and it's important really true with yourself and not sabotaging yourself. So, and still have the compassion with yourself so you can say, okay, I look at it now really true. Am I just holding myself back now with these thoughts, with these conditions that I don't have enough time? Or is it just like that I'm holding myself back, right? So, do I really need more time to build that, or is it something else? And
Yeah.
yeah, so what I also like is you really beautifully woven and nervous system, feminine energy, and spirituality together. My question is also, what does it actually look like for you, deeply feminine, have a regulated nervous system, being embodied while still being a woman with huge dreams and ambitions? How does that look? for you, or how does your daily life look like?
That's a really beautiful question because also here again, there is like no right and wrong, and and it also always varies based on the season I am in, based on which cycle I am in, scaling and expanding also by myself. So the thing, as you said, I'm really embodying also the things that I am teaching, that I'm currently creating the retreat here in Lombok for the ambitious women and the leaders. And so I'm currently in a phase where it involves like a lot of preparation work, and like getting this idea out, planning it, arranging, in contact with the women and everything. And of course, in those, like, I would say, like, high demanding phases, I just had it this weekend on Saturday, so it's beautiful. I can really honestly share how my life looks. I just had it this Saturday where I said, you know what? I because normally in the weekends I don't work because it's reserved for my family, because like that's for me very important to have just quality time. You said in the beginning, right? I'm really very conscious with my weekends, and that to spend it very, like, a lot of offline with family and friends. And this Saturday, because thing is running in behind for this amazing experience here in Lombok, I said, I just want to work for 2 hours, and then we can have a breakfast, and then maybe 1 hour more, and then we can enjoy after our Saturday, like the afternoon. What happened? I was sitting the entire day working from the morning until the evening. In between, also my daughter came in, let's go swimming, and I'm like, oh yeah, nice, I want to swim. Okay, I said, okay, I will just finish this last thing, and then I finished it. But then the next idea came, and I was like so deeply in my flow that I continued working, and 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 at the end, I was like, I on the one hand, I loved it, to work. Nobody, like my husband, he was like, okay, we have like an easy, like, slow Saturday, and also like my daughter, a great time. But I had like a bad conscience that I didn't spend the afternoon, so I made myself the pressure. I had a bad conscience because I actually thought in my mind, I pictured a complete different day, knowing that, don't be so harsh on yourself. It's okay to such days. It's okay on the work and do the stuff. And the next day can look totally different. And also, like, in the evening. So what I did then in the evening is that I had then a quality time also with my daughter in the bed, and really spending time with her and playing with her. And also knowing we don't always need to have like it's always about like the quality and not the quantity, right? That you're spending
I found
together.
that with them.
Yes. Then I connect then I connected at like before bed with her, and we had like such a deep and playful connection, and it was so beautiful. So actually everything that I felt before was then already gone, because yeah, we had this connection. And now knowing, right? And also, the beautiful thing also about this day was something to remind myself, okay, what kind of days do I want to have? I mean, it happened that our deep rooted patterns that come again because you're conditioned by it, and my system has been working like this for years. So you cannot flip the script from one day to the other. It takes time. And I mean, this was just like now one day, right? But just that the next day can to look totally different. Where I then just started in the morning. We had our like family time, and then I do the deep work in cafes, sitting often like in beautiful locations, finding also myself like with uplifting environments, which helps me to put me in a different state. In the afternoons is always reserved for either then client calls or then just for my family. And even today, something crazy I did what I've never did before. And because it also was not, I didn't before also. Uh, when you're working in corporate and consultancy, it doesn't matter what job you're doing, you need to go to the office, right? And only in the office you are productive. If you go to a cafe, you're unproductive. But there are so many different ways on how to work. And today, because I yesterday I did reformer Pilates in the morning and I had like some muscle ache and so on, I went to a recovery center, meaning I did this morning infrared sauna, cold plunge, hot plunge, and they had like a magnesium bath. And in between, I was working in my bikini, you know, and a bit
Beautiful.
sunbath. Yeah, and and as you said before, right? I'm really living the dream. Like when you introduced me in the beginning, I really had tears in my eyes because I still cannot believe it myself, the life that I have created for me and my family. Um, it's really special. It's really special because this was not in my scope at all, you know? For me, it was like career success. You need to go in the office, you need to be, I don't know, professional whatsoever. But who defines that? You know, there are so many different ways and so many different definitions. And you can be productive for so different environments.
And I really
Yes,
have to point that out. That is really why you are such a inspiration. And I also think that is why you quantum leaped this year. Because I saw you just doing the things, following your desires, and not looking left or right, what everyone else does or what opinion they have, what success looked like for them. What the most important thing for me, what I see, what um, makes you different from the other people who are not being able to create such a life. You already in every minute of your day to day embody what you're speaking, what you're teaching, and what you're thinking. So you treat people the way you want to be treated. And you have such a big, generous heart for everyone. You are cheering on the people like I've never seen before. And that is also a big quality why you will always be successful because you are really like the biggest cheerleader for every woman and you are not seeing them as your competition. And also like you just like when we spend the days together in Switzerland with you were always embodying and having the standards and the how do I say like you were living what you were actually teaching and you were not making excuses and you had your boundaries and your own kind of rules and when you said like okay in the afternoon I spend time with my daughter, then I spend it with her without my phone. I will be so strict. And when I work, then I'm fully immersed into my work and I give my everything there. And I can make it work both ways. And also, as you mentioned, like you were so much in your workflow and actually you wanted to spend time with your family and a little bit guilt came up. And I think that is so human. Everyone has that, right? And especially if mom, you have to get used to it, right? So, because we want to be everywhere and be the best version of ourselves, right? But there are days where we have to say, like, oh, I'm now so in a flow with my work. what is important now? Where am I much needed? I can still work now a little bit more, even if I thought today would look different and I planned it differently. But I can say, like, my daughter has still a beautiful day with her dad. She is taken care of. She is happy while I'm also following my desires and following what lights me up. And I follow that fire, that also allowing myself to be in this energy, in this feminine creation mode of, okay, now I really can feel it. It's flowing through me. And I have to create now. I have to um, channelize, if this is a great word, I really like pour it into my work. And afterwards, I can be fully with my family again and enjoy it and be so present. And these two versions can exist at the same time because we are so multifaceted women. We can really have it all and we can express like we want to. But thank you really for sharing that. It's really, um, and I think it's so important that we also show how our day to days look like because I think really our days define also our success and our fulfillment. And it's not always about have the perfect morning routine. It's really how true are you with yourself? How committed are you to yourself and to your well being? And admitting that now I'm this phase of my life, I'm in this season. Now it's more slowing down, but and the next time I go all in for my dreams, and the next time I'm more in my nurturing phase, I want to be with my child and be there, have quality time. Also comes back to how connected are you with your inner wisdom, with your soul, with your heart. Can you really listen to that? And this is also what I see, what makes your work so special because um, you also integrate, or a big part of your work is you bring in like the spiritual side, the energetics, not just the strategy, the how to achieve that and this, or how to be more feminine. So you really like help them connect more with who they already are. Maybe you can dive a little bit deeper and take us into that, how you do that and how that really works and makes the difference.
Oh, because the funny thing is, or the interesting thing, I'm working with the energetics, but I don't always call it energetics because, of course, I'm having like clients in corporate who are maybe open or interested in spirituality, but they do not name it or do not yet know it, right? I'm working also with companies, but of course, and also women who are like deeply spiritual and who knows everything. And but what it comes down to when we think about like spirituality, what does it actually means who you are? That's the main purpose for me, right? And that's the main how I see spirituality, and remembering who you truly are, and being compassionate and curious with the people, sending them love, love is like, because I don't mean like love in love relationships, but we can feel and share the love, like the because every emotion that we carry is a different frequency, is has a different frequency. And love is like one of the highest frequencies, the feeling that we can tap into. And I mean in the frequency of love, right? That we can have show compassion, that we understand other people, that we put our ego aside, and really showing a deep interest also with the people around us. And so what it looks like is that when I'm starting working, so the normal program. So I'm having the Mindful Modern Leader program, and it takes like 6 months where I'm working with my clients like one on one, like, and we're starting actually like I'm helping them to remember who they truly are, getting all the layers they have gotten, like from the past, like from like their externals, like from friends or family, or like from work or bosses or whosoever, all the people that have influenced them, which layers are really truly yours and which not, right? So that they really remember who they are and that they feel confident with that. Because how often does it happen when when we dare to be who we truly are, there's actually a fear because others could think we are different, we are too much, or we are not like everybody else, right? We are the black sheep in the entire white sheep field. This is how we feel, or like the rainbow color unicorn with pink socks, But you are perfectly who you are. That makes you unique. That makes you special. And if you connect with who you truly are, if you remember who you truly are, and if you share, like, and if you let go all of your masks that you have been holding so much to, and you leave them, like, let them down, and you show how you truly are, people still appreciate you. They still love you. And the interesting thing is, like what I see in the work with my clients, they even appreciate you much more because you suddenly connect with the people around you on a way deeper level, and you suddenly have conversations that you thought you would never have because other people are opening up to you, and you suddenly have like total different relationships, yeah, with everyone around you.
So true. As you mentioned, you are really working with ambitious women. What I'm curious is, what do you think? What is missing in their lives, or what have they forgotten that they are really successful, have successful careers, but they are, most of them, they're exhausted and depleted and not really fulfilled. What do you think? What is the missing piece, or what have they forgotten, or what are they not fully embodying or allowing themselves to be, to express?
So actually, we shared it already in our conversation. And what they are missing is the deep connection to themselves and allowing to simply be. Because for the ambitious women, they think, okay, I need to act professional, right, to be taken serious. Um, if I want to get like to the next level, if I now want to um, become the department head, or if I want to become the director or the vice president, I need to put more work in, right? I have to prove that I deserve this position, and it's like so external focused. So what they are missing is the internal focus.
So you think most of them are still playing a role or showing up as something, or putting themselves into a box because they think this is how they should be, and they're not allowing to show their full true self because they are not in deep connection with their purest essence?
Yeah.
Or what do you think?
That is one that can be like one one way. They have their like bosses and like the people that they admire, right? And somehow they think, okay, they have like a successful career, so I need to, so they take an example of that, right? If she or he made it all the way up, I need to be like that person. Then I know, so you know, we'll get there, or we'll have the success. and and that's like one way, but mm, yeah, so it's very external driven. I mean, nowadays also, what a lot of companies are doing is that they are having, they start taking care about their employees. So you have like different trainings when it comes also like nervous system regulation, movement, and everything. So what then often happens, they think, or they share, hey, if you in order to regulate your nervous system, some activities you need to move. So they start doing hobbies and everything. But the problem is that everything is like so, and I have experienced it also by myself. Even though I changed my life like upside down, I took like the massages to regulate my nervous system. I was like always stiff, like from my neck and shoulders, and had migraine attacks. So I thought, okay, you know, I go to the traditional Chinese medicine, do acupuncture and everything. I do yoga, I do this, and like changed a lot. But still, my nervous system was like at the edge because I didn't went to the root cause. It was like, yeah. So I was like, I had like, let's say, you know, I have a wound and I just put a blister on it, but I didn't went to the root cause to understand, okay, why do I have this wound? Why did I scratch myself? And that is actually then why they are then so external focused, because nobody really shows there are different ways for success, or there are not many other people. I mean, now it comes even more where I see more of humanity. Like 2 or 3 weeks ago, I had even also a call with the director of a huge consultancy company, also the big four companies, um, and another woman who was the general manager at the consultancy company. So I see that they are interested in their people, but there are still just a small amount of that. Um, and this is what we can definitely invite more.
Yeah, I also think nowadays with the self-improvement industry, yes, we now have all these beautiful practices, rituals, habits. Now they're available. You can go to yoga, this and that, do all the right things. But at the end, you have to ask yourself, are you just adding more to your cup, to your plate? And then you're still like overstimulated. So you can do all the right things in your day. But if you're going back after that into your work, hustling again, or you go into motherhood and then screaming at your children, then it's not the right thing. Then it's better to just give yourself there also more quality than quantity. Do less things, but be more present with what you are doing. Maybe just go back to the basics and just take 10 minutes for yourself in the morning, sit on your balcony, look at the sun, and enjoy your cacao, coffee, whatever. That does much more to your nervous system than adding more things. And I think that is also beautiful what you do in your work with the women. Nowadays, we come from one side to the other, and then they experience all these nice things and think like, oh, now we found the right way, but we are all over the place because we think like, what is going on? Now I have to do these things, but they are like just also in another costume. It's also like the energy behind is also more like doing, achieving, putting a mark after it. So we did the things on the outside, it looks good, right? So we are in the Pilates, yoga, and this and that. doing all the right things. But as you mentioned, we're not going to the root cause because then we are still in this mentality of need I do need to do more to finally achieve that, to rest more, to slow down. And yeah, this is not really the root cause. So also here to find the balance, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And I think that is important also why your work is so important, that we show them um, a different approach and what it actually needs. Every woman, I think, also is differently designed and needs different things. We have so many beautiful tools with human design, astrology, this and that. And I think that is why it's so important to know yourself on a deeper level, your blueprint, your inner architecture, and then you can decide, okay, for me, um, relaxing looks like just laying on grass in nature. But for someone else, it's maybe doing a workout, So, and I think is also an important approach and really also not listen to all the noise out there. Everyone has the right solutions. Really ask yourself what is true to you.
Yeah, I definitely resonate with that because it's like what happens also in the field, right? What you said in the beginning. Uh, Either they said, okay, you need like more of your feminine energy and you need to, connect more with yourself. And this is like more that, right? And then somehow I had the feeling that we labeled masculine energy as bad. And now it's like, with the fire horse and everything this year, we need to do everything and hustle or do more and whatsoever. And now it's like, now the feminine energy. And as you said, it's important both and then to find an individual balance because as you said, everybody has like their own system. And for other people, they thrive when there are like 80% in their masculine energy, like women, and just like 20% in their feminine energy. Others thrive when there are like 60% in their feminine energy and 40% in their masculine energy. And just knowing there is no right and wrong, but you need both, and don't be like in clinch with either one of the other. They are both important in our lives to create the success and to create the fulfilled life that we actually want. Because on my journey, like the past at least 5 years, I have been in that space where I thought, oh my God, like, am I ambitious? It's like bad because I only hustle and I just function. And then I was like really like in a space where I didn't do anything and I thought, okay, I need to slow down and I need to do less and not so much. But then I felt that's not true. I'm an ambitious woman. I have high dreams and high goals and I'm here to them. So, and I need to find a way. I still have like the balance between the masculine and feminine energy and that it actually energizes me. And then I'm not depleted at the end of the day. And also, as you said, with the beautiful tools, you can either hustle in your career or you can also hustle in your spirituality and in your feminine energy and thinking, oh, I need to do like I need an entire routine of 1 hour in the morning because if I don't have it I don't feel good. But no, that's not the thing. It's are actually about, so what I'm doing with my clients, find very simple and effective tool mechanisms, routines that are so effective in their daily life that will help them in stay in their energy and keep the focus and everything. Also with human design, I just had the conversation because I have currently so many amazing conversations with all the women interested for Illumina for the retreat, right? And there was also one woman who shared, I was first super excited, and then she was like, oh, but with my second thought, I don't know. And she was like referring also to the human design chart, taking that, I'm like this and this type, so that's why I reacted. And what I also experienced in this world of personal development, we find then again excuses, or we try also, no, not excuses, it's actually we try to act based on a design somebody gives us how we should be. But no, it's no right or wrong. This is just like a tool which gives you guidance, but it doesn't mean that you have to be exact as your human design tells you how you need to be. Because the only truth that you know and how you should be, you have your heart and your intuition, and that's the only truth that you need to live by.
Yeah, and we have all free will, and it's always, I guess, a decision how you look at it. So I think also two people can have the same design, but still make different decisions and go on a different path. So
Yeah,
it's really about self-responsibility. What are you
totally.
choosing or not choosing? Or are you just bypassing something? Are you using that or your energy type for making excuses and saying, just this is who I am? And also, like, or then it's astrology, you say, like, yeah, now it's retrograde. And yeah, this
I
is the
cannot
phase
take
where
this.
I can do something right now. So, what are you making out of it? It's your
Mm,
decision.
yeah,
So, it's really about you always. I love these tools, but it's really important to use it consciously, right?
yeah,
And to always ask yourself what feels true and aligned for you, and not following another rule book, a framework that wasn't designed for you, because every one of us is unique, and just in the end, just you know what you actually need. And I think that is also the skill, what is most important nowadays, what we need to work on to really get to ourselves more, connect more with ourselves, and to unfold all these layers of conditions, because actually already all everything we need is already there, all the wisdom and things. And we also tend to look at the negative things, like, oh, we all inherit this trauma from the past, from past life, from our childhood. But sometimes we forget that we also inherit the beautiful traits of our ancestors, the resilience, the strength, wisdom, conditional love. This is also something that is available to us. If we change our perspective or our focus more on that, then there is so much to explore and to create out. So, yeah, that's
definitely.
really beautiful. And now I want to really talk about your experience, because maybe people are thinking, like, what is she talking about Lombok? She's living now in Lombok. I thought she's living in Switzerland. So yeah, she was really quantum leaping, and she made the decision with her family to just take them and close a chapter in Switzerland, right? What was outside, and you had a really great life. But you decided also not just to start a new business, to also move country, leave everything behind. I also want to, yeah, dive a little bit into that. What made you realize, oh, and to just not follow what makes sense on papers, to maybe say, yeah, just wait a little bit, maybe in 2 years, then everything is perfect, then we are ready. What made you say, like, let's do it? Fuck that.
So also there, the feeling and the inner calling that we were following. Um, we have been in Lombok 2.5 years ago on a sabbatical, and because we have heard of it, and I already, I always wanted to go to Flores. Flores is also an island here close to Lombok. And I hear Lombok already, and I always was like, okay, it's a place where I would love to travel at someday, you know? And then suddenly more people, suddenly I saw on social media, they were in Bali and then went to Lombok. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then some people were even moving here. And I thought, okay, that's possible. You can just move there. So what we did then is that we took a sabbatical and we said, okay, our base will be in Lombok, and then we will travel a bit, and we will see how it is. And within 1 month, we decided to buy a house here and to build it. And we never expected that. So we didn't came with the idea to go there and buy a house. Not at all. We just wanted to check it out. But Lombok has really something special. It brings you together with very, like, let's say, also like delusional people, a lot of people, like visionary people who dream big and who really do so many different kind of things, job wise or building their own companies, where you would never thought that a way of earning money. So it actually put us into a state where we saw, oh my god, here you have like a community of people who dream big and they all really put their dreams into reality. And the most beautiful thing was also that you met them so casually. All the amazing people and friends also for today we met. We met there when we went to like back then with Matilda to school, when like to a play group at school, or when you were at the beach, or when you were at the paddle. So actually spending time together with your family, and then you casually connect with others, and that was like so special that we thought, okay, we would love to be in such an environment also for our personal growth and career growth. And then of course it was very hard to really leave everything behind in Switzerland. That's because, as you said, I was super successful over there. I didn't have to leave. Also from my husband, he actually just got a raise, a massive raise, because they restructured at their company. Yeah, and it was like really the feeling that we trusted that we had, because we said, you know what, like the worst case scenario is we can always come back, because if we don't try, we do not know how it is. Worst case, we just move back again. But then we will at least not tell ourselves in the, I don't know, in the next 10 or 20 years, what if? Because we have tried, and it was one of the best decisions, even though it was so hard to like all my dear friends and you behind. It was like really one of the hard things.
I also believe that most people are not doing it because they want to, maybe even unconsciously, avoid discomfort.
Hmm.
So you had all the comfort here, everything was nice, right? But you knew deep inside that there is even more, even if you can't name it yet. So, and to still just follow that and not just say, oh no, no, that thought feels not really comfortable or really like not familiar, or what is going to happen. That's really inspiring. And yeah, maybe you can now talk a little bit about your really amazing retreat that you also created now and that is taking place very soon. So yeah, this special immersion, private immersion, I think that it's even um, more expensive and more important to also go into places, surround yourself with the right people, and to allow yourself to expand your view of life, your capacity, and to also fully feel it in your whole body, in your system, and like feel that this is my reality, this is possible, right? So take us a little bit into this experience.
Yeah, so first of all, like also the experience how it has been created. It has been created also because you have been the activator, right? Because initially it was like the idea to have together here the retreat. And I think haven't we thought about that in already back in Lucerne, I think I would have never dared to do it. So also to bring it to life been like a huge part in it that activated me, gave me the self trust, to really start it. Because if it wasn't you there, I think, I would also would have postponed it. So thank you so much for that. Really, like one of the main parts who actually birthed it into life. Really, thank you. And and then because I remember when I was sitting there and I was thinking about like how what kind of retreat should it be, um I had this big vision, and I know you also share that, to have an environment where you don't need to do more, where you just simply be. Because, right, all the ambitious women, they carry already so much. They carry the multi-million dollar projects at their work, right? They having like large teams that are managing. They are managing large people in their projects. They having high stake conversations with their clients, um and then of course then they are maybe a mother or they are in a relationship. They're holding so much, and I wanted to create a space you can leave everything behind. So when you're at the airport, let everything go. Leave like all the heavy weight just there, and then arrive in an environment where it's like a five-star spa treatment for your body, mind, and soul, and also your energetical level. And where and also the space was so important. And I like the retreat will be held in, so the women will stay in the Cocoon Hotel. So alone, being cocooned by the environment. The name itself is already gives me goosebumps, because it's really cocooned in the nature. And every woman will have their own private luxury villa made also of natural and bamboo materials. So also here being deeply connected to the nature, their own private pool, and having suddenly a space just for themselves. That's what I wanted to create. I really consciously said, okay, each woman will have their own villa. Because I know there are like a lot of experience and retreats where you always share the bedroom, but then you're still like in the energetic field of the other. And I just wanted them to be in their own energetic field. Really feel what is really theirs. What are they allowed to let go? What are they allowed to in? The retreat itself, it's called Illumina. The main focus is really beyond limit. So really chasing your delusional goals, but without losing yourself. And by doing so is to really connect with who you truly are, remembering who you truly are, letting go of the things that do not serve you anymore, and really claim your limitless identity. Because everything that is coming to you, all the visions that are coming in, they're meant for you. Because otherwise you wouldn't receive them. And you're so damn ready to claim them. And I'm just creating the space to support you in that, to celebrate like-minded women who cheer, who love who you are, who love the dreams that you have, and that we elevate each other. And in between, you also said, it's so beautiful what you see really, um, see very preciously, like what I do, right? That I'm cheering for others. What I truly do from my heart, right? Because I love to say, when I rise, you rise, and when you rise, she rises. And when she rises, we all rise, you know.
I
And
think kind of retreats are also so important because it builds the ground, because you can't start with the doing, with following that. This you first need to create, like there is a vastness. You just tap into fully into this feminine creation mode of inside of me that wants to be birthed, that wants to be created. This is always the first step, and we can't miss this step. We can't go to the second or first step, a third step. So it's really important to create an environment, fully be in your energy, and to feel and to go to the root of what is really important for me. What do I want to create? And the why, into this why. And then you can go into doing and creating, right?
correct, correct. Because we're like so hyper focused within our daily life, and maybe also like still hustling, there is less space for our creativity and our mind to wander, and with the ideas to coming in, right? Because we always think about the next goal, the next step, and everything. And this is really an environment in those 7 days to create space, expand, and really breaking to not like stop limiting, because there are no limits. The only limits that you have are the you like how you limit yourself. You are the only one who's limiting your, and to understanding, okay, but what are my limits and why do I limit myself? And understanding, oh my god, so much more. Like all the possibilities that are suddenly then coming. And then I created like different experiences. How we're doing that is like, one day we will go like, it's like a program, right, to come to this state unlimits and claiming your limitless identity. But what you said before, right, also, first of all, you need to let go and cleanse and purify. So like one of the day experience that I created is that we're going to a waterfall into the jungle, and really like um like where we really purify and cleanse and everything, and letting things go which is holding us back or making ourselves small. And then I also want to, because this is something we said before, there are a lot of coaches, healers, practitioners, right, that have like a specific strategy. They say this is the one, and this only brings you success. And this is what I don't believe, because we are all individual human beings. The most important thing is that you find your own strategy and the things that work for you. So, meaning also within those 7 days, you will discover which strategies works best for you, for your nervous system, for your body, for your for your gut. So you will tap more into your intuition. I'm offering different experiences, so you can tap more into this feeling and understanding, okay, what is it for, I'm creating like one experience is also, it's like it's called the silver class. So where they will make their own jewelry from scratch and create
Mm.
something very very precious for themselves, but like coming from nothing and really birthing something, being full in their creation mode. And itself, like when you are doing if you are in a creativity process, you is suddenly opening, right? So you kind of create a meditational state, but it's like not meditation as such, because you're in your creation and your feminine energy, and then actually you're open to receive, right? Because we're in our masculine energy, we're like so closed. But when we're then with the experience that I planned, right, where we for instance then really tap into deeply in your feminine energy with the creativity, you're suddenly open to receive, and things come to you that haven't been there in your field yet because you have been so tightly closed into your masculine energy.
Yeah, I think these are the moments where you get so receptive, where you really also allow you receive it when you're not in your head, you're fully in your body. And I also see when you are dancing, when you are drawing, when you're just doing something creative, something you really love with no agenda, no goal behind it. That are the moments where you receive the most downloads, the most new ideas. And that is so
Yeah.
beautiful. And that is what we forget in our daily lives, not just forget, but we just don't have the space. Sometimes it's not enough because we have so full days. And then at the end of the day, we say like, okay, let's do that for now for 1 hour, but it's impossible to fully immerse into that. And for this, these kind of retreats are so important because you
Yeah.
then can really put your whole focus and you're
Yeah.
fully there, fully present. And sometimes, especially for us women, it takes a few days where we can disconnect from the noise, from the outside, from our to dos, until we are again fully in our bodies, in our nature, fully connected. And to experience this state again is so precious and so much needed. So, yes, I really can recommend this experience for every woman out there. And you already heard a lot of things, but yeah, the magic will happen there. So, and Caroline, you also have a special announcement. So, please share the special
Yeah,
thing.
it's it's really crazy, right? But also here I'm scaling my business and expanding my business also in connection with my intuition. And currently I have like really something like a once in a lifetime opportunity on where I am gifting one ticket to Illumina to this immersive experience to one woman for like the entire experience, the accommodation, the meals are included. The only thing, right, is then the flight you need. But then for the rest, everything is taken care of because, um, yeah, I wanted to create also a space where for those women, where I treat them like queens because we are queens. We can allow ourselves to tap into this energy of being a queen and fully receiving. And that's why I decided, I want to give this immersive experience to one beautiful woman out there, and she can join now. I don't know, most probably it's best that I'm sharing then the application link so you can join via an application. Yeah. And then you're a part of the entire win what's it called, like winning the tickets. And the winner will be announced on Monday the 7th.
So, very soon,
And
this is a once in a lifetime experience. So,
yeah,
we really don't want to miss that.
yeah,
So, if you feel the call there,
yeah,
wow,
yeah.
that's so amazing. That's really beautiful.
um there are already so many women inside, but it doesn't mean, I think I have like around 50 women are excited about Illumina, but still, this can still be your chance win a ticket at the retreat, which is worth 7,000 francs. It's an experience. It's an experience that will change your life. That will have such a deep impact on your entire life, where you will remember, you know, always remember back what this special experience did with you.
Yes, you're so true. It was never actually about the money, but about experience. That is
Yeah.
something you will never forget, and it always stays in your heart. And it's so, you can go so fast, grow, and evolve so much faster. And go deeper in this in-person immersive crazy. So I can really recommend it for every woman, especially with you. You are creating spaces like there is no other option to just rise with you and create a dream life. With that being said, I think it's a really beautiful ending. I just want to leave you with one last question. Podcast is called Nectar Notes, and yeah, back to the essence of it, like I really want to ask yourself for a moment, what is your nectar of life? So, what are you currently savoring, receiving, and allowing yourself to experience? Want to share that?
My nectar of life right now is it's truly trusting that the path that I now have selected and that the retreat and the experience that I'm creating will lead me to another level of expansion that I've never thought would be possible in my life, even though fears are coming. I just had this thought like yesterday. I had like sleepless nights, right, where I was awake until 3:30 in the morning, but I was again awake at 7 a.m. So very, less hours of sleeping, and I had like all these feelings in my system of nervousness, excitement, positive nervousness, but excitement and joy, but at the same time fear and anxiety because I thought what if nobody will come? What if I'm sitting on all the investments that I made for the entire planning and I'm sitting there in those 11 villas, private villas with private pool just by myself? But then reminding myself that connecting right to the nectar that you said, that's like the juiciness and the juiciness of life, that when you expand, it doesn't mean that you don't have any fears or second thoughts, or maybe sometimes also questioning the path that you selected and the expansion that you want and the dreams that you're chasing. All the feelings are valid. The only thing is, okay, what kind of juiciness do you want to integrate and to call in, right, or to manifest? And I'm trusting that everything will be sold out, and that the women who are feeling called there will come. And having really this, always reminding myself to the juiciness of expansion, that it's yes, there can be some anxiety and fear, but my feelings towards the excitement and the vision and seeing the women, like seeing, visualizing the women that are walking into their own private villas, and like the feeling and the smile on their faces, how you see dropping their shoulders and having like this big relief and maybe tears in their eyes because they finally put themselves first. They finally take time for themselves. Yeah, that's like the juiciness and nectar.
That work, right? And even, yeah, along the way, no way is without stones and without setbacks. So that doesn't mean it's not valuable enough or you're not worthy enough. Also, I think the key is to keep going and to believe in your vision and to take that excitement and bring it out and show what this experience is really all about. And this is really what the world needs, and not just wait until, yeah, every seat is taken and then we can build it around it. You decide first, you make first the investment, you invite woman first, and then your reality expands, right?
Yeah.
So really thank you for being a role model, going first, being the leader. And I'm sure we will see so much of you, so much expansion, so much juiciness, so much beautiful insights of Lombok. And if you really think now, oh my God, what an inspiring woman. Just follow her up on Instagram and yeah, follow her journey and go into her spaces. Even being in her field is expensive. Like, I really can say that from the bottom of my heart. A close friend like this is the most precious and valuable thing you can have. Thank you also for being here, being my first guest on my podcast. I'm happy and I hope this conversation will touch a lot of people, inspire, and yeah, just share it with your loved ones who you think should need that. Maybe, yeah, I can support them. Maybe someone needs to hear these exact words. Yeah, thank you so much for joining.
Thank
Just
you so much.
excited. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for all that were listening to this episode. Just leave a comment if you want to connect with us or if you have questions, and then see you in the next episode. Bye bye.
Bye.